Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in this episode we're talking about SCP-131 or the iPods. There's a picture for this article. They look like this. That it's interesting. I don't know what it is, but it's cool looking. It's like a eye on a it's an eye on a pod. There we go. Boom. Name connection. Object class is safe, meaning they pose little to no threat or are relatively easy to contain. It seems that there are only 2 of them. Maybe there's not, I don't actually know. I don't know how many there are, but I would assume that there's only 2 judging by the picture. A lot of information in this one, so let us get started. Special containment procedures. No special safety procedures are to be taken with SCP-131-A and 131-B. They are free to travel about Site-19 so long as they do not attempt to enter any restricted areas or attempt to leave the facility. Casual contact with the subjects is permitted, but it is recommended that such contact be kept to a minimum to prevent the creatures from forming an attachment to personnel. Hourly tabs are to be kept on subjects at all times. Failure to account for their presence at these times constitutes a Level 1 lockdown situation. Any report of abuse or mistreatment of the subjects will result in a harsh reprimand. So they're not even dangerous. They don't even require containment procedures. They just exist around the facility. Their only rules are don't enter restricted areas and don't leave. You can touch them. You can play with them. Just don't do it too much because you don't want them to form an attachment. Okay, but the fact that they're just able to walk around, they don't even pose a threat. What, are they mechanic? Are they organic? Like, what are they? They're just able to walk around. That's adorable. Description. SCP-131-A and 131-B, affectionately nicknamed the iPods by personnel, are a pair of teardrop-shaped creatures roughly 30 centimeters in height, with a single blue eye in the middle of their bodies. SCP-131-A is a burnt orange in color, while SCP-131-B is a mustard yellow. At the base of these creatures is a wheel-like protrusion which allows for locomotion, suggesting that the creature may be biomechanical in origin. The subjects can move surprisingly fast, covering over 60 meters in a matter of seconds. The subjects, however, lack a braking system, which has led to some rather spectacular, if not overly amusing, mishaps involving the creatures. The subjects have also shown the ability to climb sheer surfaces and have gotten lost in the air vents on more than one occasion. They're like cats! They're like cats! That's what I'm getting out of this. They just run around and get stuck. But they crash out of a braking system, so they could go almost 200 feet in a matter of seconds, but the issue is they can't stop. They just go. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. They just propel themselves in the walls. God, they don't have legs, it's a wheel. The biomechanical nature is kind of disturbing. Does that mean like the actual iPod itself is um of biology and not mechanics? Because if it's like a biological creature, that'd be very interesting, the fact that this exists, but then why do they have the mechanical wheel? Next, we're gonna continue on. The subjects seem to have the intelligence of common house cats, and are insatiably curious. Most of the time, they simply roll around the facility, observing personnel at work and catching peeks at other safe-class SCPs. The subjects seem to be able to communicate with each other via an untranslatable high-pitched babbling. The subjects have never been observed to blink, even in laboratories when the subjects have been videotaped for over 18 consecutive hours. Okay, so they don't blink. They have no ability to blink. They don't have to blink. I love the fact that I mentioned that they were like house cats, and then the next sentence is, hey, they're basically house cats. They observe the people at work, they look at other safe class SCPs, and they even communicate. It's just so cute. They're like brothers. They just communicate. They're curious. I love them. I want one. I don't actually know if I want one. I don't think I'd be able to handle that. But the fact that they just roam around doing whatever the hell they want just shows, like, they don't do anything. They look at you. That's what they do. They look. They look. That's about it. The subjects seem to respond well to any affection given to them and will quickly bond to the giver of said affection, much in the same way a puppy bonds with a human being. They will follow anyone or anything they've made a bond with anywhere, even into normally restricted areas. Although curious, the subjects can sense danger in their general vicinity, and if an object of theirs bonds begin to approach something they register as dangerous, example a Euclid or Keter class SCP, they will swarm around their bonded companion's feet or appropriate extremities, while babbling in a panicked tone as if to warn them. Because of the daily dangers faced by Site-19 staff in dealing with Euclid and Keter class objects, it is recommended that staff avoid making attempts to bond with the subjects, as it could pose a distraction during a delicate operations and experiments and may pose danger to the subject themselves. If the subjects are ignored by their bonded target long enough, they will eventually lose interest and return to their normal activities. They just they warn you. And Site-19 is the site with 173, the statue where if you blink you die. Which that's kind of convenient that these iPods can look at it and not blink. I wonder if that's what it's just, man. But like Site-19 is like the site of sites. I don't remember if the Plague Doctor is in that site or not, but like Site-19 is the dangerous one. That's the scary one. Anyways, there's only a little bit left. There's only 3 paragraphs left. I just want to get through it all. There's a lot of information packed into each of these paragraphs, and I plan to talk about all of it later. But continuing on. It should be noted that the subjects require no real care or maintenance from site staff. They do not eat, leave droppings, or even sleep. It would seem that the only sustenance they require is visual stimulation, although this requires further study to verify. So they don't need anything other than just like a visual stimulation. Does that imply that they get bored? That these iPods just get bored? I mean, they follow people around, they stalk them while they work, they warn them of danger. My guess is that they find humans intriguing enough that it keeps them from boredom, so they just walk around trying to find anything interesting. And inside the SCP Foundation, that's quite a lot of things. Subject SCP-131A and 131B were found in a cornfield outside Redacted in the year 19 Redacted. They were promptly transported to Site-19 via data expunged, and were then downgraded to Safe Class and given free reign across the site once it became clear they were not broadcasting what they saw to any hostile foreign powers. Oh, I didn't even think of that. That maybe when they found them, they thought it was transmitting everything it saw, like some alien sent them to Earth and they was using it as a feed. Man, I didn't even think of that. It's clear that's not the case, but I didn't even think of that. This is why the SCP Foundation's good. They take the precautions that I wouldn't think of, or probably most other people wouldn't think of. But it's clear that these 2 iPods are very, very, harmless. Unless you talk about the 2 themselves, in which case they can harm themselves because they don't stop and run into walls. Which I find absolutely adorable. Addendum 131-1. During an incident that took place on redacted date, the subjects followed one of the cleaning staff on routine cleaning of a container of SCP-173. After their normal attempts to warn the cleaner of the danger were ignored, the creatures rushed into the container in front of him and the other 2 personnel on duty. Once inside, the staff members observed the subject sitting in front of SCP-173 and watching it intently, as if it were aware it can only move when if unobserved. The cleaners ignored the presence of the subjects and continued with the bi-weekly cleaning as per standard procedures. When the cleaning crew left, the subjects did as well, rolling backwards slowly and never taking their eyes off 173. Current applications of SCP-131A and 131B as wardens of SCP-173 and perhaps other SCPs which require constant observation, such as 689, are to be considered. And that is the entire article. That is, they knew what SCP-173 could do? I don't like that. That signals to me that they're of the same, like, origin. But maybe it was just a lucky guess. Or maybe it was like, just watch the danger. If it starts to move, start screaming. Maybe that was the iPod's mentality. All I'm saying is, you could use them as permanent sentries, right? Like, okay, what if, like, you have to clean SCP-173's container bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, you have to do it. Put the iPods in there every single one of those cleaning. You only have to send in one person. The iPods never look away. They just stare at it and they know what to do, apparently. It seems to me like they have that covered. But that's also why they don't want it making a bond with anyone, because it could pose a distraction. Like the warnings. They were trying to warn the cleaning staff, don't go in there, don't go in there. There's something dangerous in there, don't go in there. But ultimately it worked out because these iPods are like a direct counter to the statue. This 131 is a direct counter to 173 because 173 has to move when you aren't looking at it, and 131 only looks, and it will keep looking and never blink, which is something humans can't do. We have to blink, therefore it has the chance to snap everyone's neck. 173 does. But 131 doesn't have to blink. They just stare. And it's terrifying. Though those are pretty baby blue eyes. It's just a bit freaky, you know? Like, okay, where do they come from? Why are they biomechanical? And how do they... I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of for that third part. But how are they biomechanical? Is it like their top half, it like with the eye and the actual teardrop bit is biological, and is the wheel the mechanical bit, or is it like it's fully mechanical, which is like a skin layer? Is it like a reverse Cyberman from Doctor Who? That would be... Ugh. Though the fact that it can warn people, it could serve as like an alarm system. Maybe you should like watch whoa, hold on. Maybe use it like drug dogs. You take it out into the field whenever you know that there's a dangerous SCP, and it'll alert you as to where it is. There's an idea. Can it sense invisible ones? Because it's saying it could sense all dangerous like threats in its vicinity. It doesn't have to lay eyes on it. So can it see like any invisible SCPs? And the fact that it just travels around looking at safe class SCPs, it's like it's just a curious house cat. It's like, ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? Ooh, what do you do? Hello. But a lot of this information was pretty straightforward. It's a safe class SCP, meaning a lot of the information is presented. And I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. The iPods are adorable. I really like them. In fact, there's only two. They're like brothers. Is roam around like, hey, what's this? Hey, you think this is cool? Yeah. Hey, what's this? I want one. I don't think I'd be able to handle it though. I don't think I'd like it staring at me, scare me, or it falling down my stairs. That'd be sad. But thank you all so much for watching or listening, whatever you're doing on this fine day. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking it, as that helps me with motivation as well as wanting to do this more in the future. If you have any suggestions for an SCP you want me to review, leave a comment and I will be sure to get to it as soon as humanly possible. Again, thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.